So we're with our president, Trevor Bates here, and if you could tell us a little about yourself and your educational background, we would love to hear it.
Well, first, thank you all for this opportunity. This is great. I'm excited to talk a little bit to you all and maybe learn something about you as well. I'm the president of the college, 21st president. Name is Dr. Trevor Bates. My undergraduate training is from a small private college, much like Wilmington College. And I've spent most of my career in small private colleges. So my undergraduate degree is in athletic training with a minor in areas like exercise science and management, and I earned that from Millikan University, which is in Illinois, and I earned a bachelor's degree from the University of Illinois, a master's degree from the University of Illinois in kinesiology with an emphasis in sports medicine. And kinesiology essentially is the study of human movement.
Awesome.
And my doctorate is in health sciences with an emphasis in leadership and organizational behavior. And so I earned that from A.T. Still University, and really my progression went from kind of a specific program to a broader area.
Absolutely. And now if we get into your biggest professional achievement in your opinion.
I would probably say it wouldn't be something that I have owned, but my former students, several of them, have become program directors, they've become deans, and even some of them have become vice presidents and business owners. So for me, I kind of share in the fact that I was able to contribute, to their success. So my greatest achievement, I think, is contributing to seeing other people in some cases surpass even the people who led them and taught them.
Absolutely. It's awesome that you're in a position to do that, and I'm proud that you're in a position to make that happen for you too. Now, what was your first job, and what was your lesson you learned the most from about it?
So, first job?
Yes.
So my first job ever, I worked at the Kansas City, Kansas Community College. I worked in grounds, so I cut grass. And my mom worked at the college, and I thought, what I'm gonna do is cut grass and it's gonna be easy. The first big assignment they gave me was to dig a pond within an enclosed building where they couldn't get any sort of heavy equipment inside. So it was me and four other about 15, 16-year-olds.
Wow.
And so every day between 7 a.m. and about 10:30 when the sun came up, we were digging a hole.
Wow.
And then in the afternoon, we'd go out, cut grass, and do other things. But that taught me that I didn't want to do that.
Sometimes that's what you have to learn.
I was in high school. I was a wrestler, and so I think I developed all of this extra strength because I was literally every day, pounding into the ground, and so it benefited me in that way. But I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way.
Absolutely. And next question is, what is your long-term goal in your life?
So I'll tell you this. So I set a goal years ago, and it's very broad. So I said, what I want to do is I want to serve an institution and my family and my communities in the highest way that my skills and abilities and knowledge will allow.
Absolutely.
And so what I didn't do and haven't done is put a title on that. So I hoped to be a father. I hoped to be a husband. I hoped to have a job to take care of my family.
Yep.
But I didn't say specifically, I want to have 2 kids or that I want to be the president of Wilmington College.
That's interesting.
And so it's a blessing, to have the different opportunities I've had, but I don't put limitation on what might happen, because as a person of faith, I believe that my plan is only a part of a bigger plan.
Absolutely. What is your strongest quality as a leader?
So I don't need a lot of sleep. So my mother and my father both did not sleep a whole lot. And so I tell people, and this is honest, I need about 4.5 hours of sleep to be nice to you.
Wow.
And so I'm both a night owl and an early bird.
Yeah.
So you find me, last night I was sending emails out at 11:30. I usually pause the email so it doesn't send until 8.
Yep.
Even though I'm up, I don't want to
Absolutely.
disrupt other people. But I'm using the office at 7. And so that's probably the greatest thing is my energy. That there's not going to be a whole lot of people who are going to out-energy me.
Absolutely, and
So-
I think that requires a lot of energy, what you do, running around and trying to grow this college as a leader. And now, what is your weakness that you think you have as a leader? Like,
I would say it's a combination of optimism. I see my optimism as both a strength and a weakness. And so I want to see things in a better position than they are. But the reality is that like difficult decisions have to be made.
absolutely,
When students make a difficult decision about where I'm going to go to college, where I'm going to live, what first job I'm going to take, like those are huge decisions, and the decisions only get bigger, like over
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Who I'm going to marry, if we're going to have kids, where we're going to live, all of these sort of things. Who gets the nicer car, you know? And so those kind of things are a challenge, and I always want the best possible outcome, and I always lean into how can we be more optimistic about this, even though the reality may not look so great right now.
yes, absolutely. And we'll go one more. Who is your mentor, or who did you look up to, and do you still look up to them?
So there is one, there's several. So lots of people I have to give credit for challenging me and roughing me up and, really I think helping me prepare for what life, still is bringing. But one of the gentlemen who I mentioned, his name is Chukwuka Nwamika. And so he was a dean years ago when I was applying for a job that I did not get. And so he interviewed me, and I'm just telling you, I wanted this job, like hardcore wanted it. And he sat me down in his beautiful office, and he said, Trevor, I don't think this is the right job for you. He said, I think you could do this job better than anybody who we would hire, but it would limit your potential. And I'm listening to it, and I'm thinking, I don't care what you're talking about. Like, I want this job. Like, all of what you're talking, this magical stuff, whatever. And I didn't get the job, and he flat out told me in the interview, you would be the best person, but this is not good for you because I think you could do more. And I stayed in touch with him. We became, colleagues and friends, and I would ask him questions as my career went along. And at my inauguration earlier this year, he was the keynote speaker. And he explained to people, it was very odd that I sat this young person down and told him, I'm not giving you this job, and we became great friends.
Absolutely, yeah. That's his unselflessness helped you get where you are today. That's awesome to hear. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate the interview. It was awesome. We learned a lot about you.
Make sure these folks get an A.